friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Erin and I do mostly budgeting videos like the one you're about to see here. I'm actually so excited to do this video because we finally have what is kind of like getting back to normal pay period, and I'm just so happy about that because if you've been with me for a while, you know that we've had some struggles. My husband losing his job, me getting a pay cut. Everything has always been just like up in the air, in flux. We don't know what's going to happen. And since he's lost his job, he's on his second job, which is commission based, but they did pay him today, so he gets a base rate and then he will start earning commissions. Now he's still in the training mode, so he's not allowed to earn commissions, quite yet, but I think in a week or two, maybe next week or the week after, he'll be on regular pay and regular commissions. So I'm really, really excited. He loves his new job. That makes me happy, because he's excited to go to work every day and he loves the people and he loves what he's doing. And it just is such a breath of fresh air, when things start to turn around and you can just breathe easier about, your situation, and, that you like what you're doing on top of it is just such a bonus and exciting. So I'm really, really happy. So we have 3 sources of income this week. I thought I would get right to it and show you guys what's going on. Now, this isn't weekly. I get paid bi-weekly, and I believe he is going to be paid bi-weekly too. So I'm going to put down his pay and then my pay and then Amazon. So I have some income from affiliate links. It's not huge, but you know what? I'm grateful for it because every little bit adds up, and it's money I didn't have. So I'm really excited to be able to add that into this as well. So for his base pay, he is looking at $727.46. And just in the interest of showing you guys full income, I thought that I would add, the change. Usually I just kind of do round numbers, and I thought, let me just add the full amount. And then I have my pay today, which is $15.18.29. And then we had the Amazon for $15.79. And one thing I regret, because I just made these new budget sheets, and this is in my new tool notebook that my mom got me. So I really love the setup. But one thing that I kind of regret is that I didn't add, total down here. So if I ever decide to reprint these, I'll probably change a couple of things, but what are you going to do? I already printed them, so I don't really want to go through the whole thing of printing them again. So the total is $22.62.04. All right. So let's just add that up. Now I haven't gone to the bank yet. $727.46 plus $15.18.29 plus $15.79. During the pandemic, I really got into, oh wait, what did I just do? Is that right? $727.46, $15.18.29, $15.79. Did I add that wrong? Okay, hold on. $727.46 plus $15.18.29 plus $15.79. I did add that wrong. Look at me. You know what? I don't know why. I don't know how, but I did. So let's just white this out if we can. Of course, the whiteout's not working. Hold on. Oh my gosh, did it dry out? Why am I having so many technical difficulties? It got twisted. All right, let's see. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's white that out. And then I'll put the real total, the non-jokey total. So let's write that down. I should have let this dry for a second, but here we go. $22.61.54. Okay. I don't even know what I was saying. That's terrible. I just totally got sidetracked. All right, let me go back because I always pay our bills a month ahead of time. So with this paycheck, or with this pay period, I will be able to fully fund February's bills. Now I've already started paying them, but I have a couple more to go. So I'm gonna use last week's figures here because that reflects what I've already contributed or what has already been paid. So on January 15th of this month, I did $900 for our mortgage. And so that's already taken care of. You know what I don't like? When I make that payment, if I make it like, I must have made it on the 15th, it still won't reflect on the online banking that I made that payment until the first of the month. And I don't know why it does that. That's just really bizarre to me. So at the same time, I put an extra $360 just toward bills in general. And then on the 22nd, which was last week, I put another $400 toward bills. And then finally today, I'm going to be fully funding the rest of what's needed with $11.90 toward bills. And that will give me $28.50 total. Okay, so let's subtract $11.90 from our total. And we're down to $11.03.12. So I'm going to write this here just to keep me organized. All right, so let's make sure that that brings us up to $28.50. So we had $900 plus $360 plus $400 plus $11.90, $28.50. So we're right on the mark, and I'll be able to pay the rest of what's needed this month. I'll probably do that today, actually. So we are down to $11.03.12. Okay, so we're going to talk about our variable expenses right now. And those include the usual suspects that we talk about every week: groceries, and then dog food, and then gas, of course. And then I had a couple other variables. Let me see. $2 bill challenge. I don't know if you guys remember that I was doing that. I have a video on that, and I need to fund that. And then I had a medical test copay. And everything that I've been going through recently with my health is just, you know, it's costing some money. So, and then I'm going to be making an extra student loan payment, because you guys know that that is my next focus. Well, actually I have two areas of focus right now. One is to pay down my student loan, and then the other one is to pay our taxes when our taxes are due. So I am just so excited to get both of those out of the way. And then today is actually our anniversary, our wedding anniversary. So I put some money aside for dinner and something little that I picked up for my husband. Even though we decided not to do gifts, I just wanted to I don't know, get him something really tiny. So let's start off with the groceries. I did $125, and I am subtracting these amounts from the total of what's left just so I can keep this momentum going. Then I'm going to do $25 for dog food. And then I'm going to do $60 for gas. Now gas has gone up in our area just a little bit, but I still think $60 is good enough to cover us. And I'm going to do, actually, I need $14 in $10 bills, or $2 bills. So I'm going to do $14 because I didn't get enough last time, and hopefully they have enough this time. And then my medical test copay was $38.32. And I put that on our Discover card, and then I'll go ahead and just pay Discover. And then extra student loan payment, I'm planning on doing $100. And then our anniversary, I also set aside $100. And then am I missing anything? I feel like I'm missing, oh, Christmas Club. I want to add $25 to that. Now that's a sinking fund that I have on my Capital One accounts. So I'm going to add 25 to that. And that brings us down to $615.80. Is there anything I'm missing? No, I think I'm good. All right, so that brings us to, I'm gonna write a new total here, $615.80. All right, so the only thing that I have to take into consideration is next week, I don't believe we have any income coming in. So the main things that I want to be able to fund are groceries, dog food, and gas. All right, so if I add all of those things together, that's $125 plus 25 is $150 plus 60 is $210. So I'm gonna write an extra $210, and that's gonna be for next week. And that way we don't really have to worry about our variable expenses next week. Now, if anything unusual comes up, I'll put it on the Discover and I'll take care of it on our next payday. So I think that that is the best way for me to do it right now. So we're down to $405.80. So now I'm going to cross this out. And that's the grand total we have left right now. So I'm kind of sad because I should have, well, that's okay. My sinking funds are down here. And so I shouldn't have added Christmas Club as a variable expense because it's not. So plus 25, and that's going to give me a total of $50. Now, if I save $50 a month between now and Christmas, I should have, I don't know, probably around $550 by December. And then if I waited all of December, I'd have $600. But hopefully once I get some of these other things taken care of and paid down, I can start adding more to our Christmas club so we have enough to cover the entire season / gift giving and everything that goes along with it. So now we have $405 left. So let's see. Remaining. Just gonna write down here is $405.80. Now you guys might be wondering, what am I gonna do with that? And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that aside because I'm going to need every extra penny that I can get that's not already allocated or necessary for our basic expenses to go toward our taxes. So our taxes, and actually we pay to get our taxes done. We have an accountant who's been doing them for many years, and we itemize. So it is really necessary for us to go through a CPA. It's just for my own comfort. You know, they sign off on it and then you're protected, you know, and everything is accurate in the way it needs to be. But I've gone back and forth so many times on what our taxes are going to be. And if you're new here, I did Grubhub last year and I made quite a bit of side money doing that. And my husband had unemployment, which no taxes were taken out of that either. So we have quite a bit that we need to reconcile as far as, you know, it's going to come due. And although we usually get a refund, probably close to like $3,000 every year. Of course, that refund will get sucked up in what we owe, and then we'll owe the difference. So I'm really anxious to get our taxes done just because I want to know what I'm looking at and, you know, be able to create a plan of action from there on how we're going to tackle it and take care of it. So that's kind of why I'm so anxious to get our taxes done, just so I can get the ball rolling. If I can help it, I'm not going to go on any kind of payment plan. If it's feasible, I'm going to take the rest of what we owe out of taxes from our emergency fund. So I know that there's a couple different opinions on that. Like, you know, your emergency fund is more important, or being less in debt is more important. So there's two different schools of thought. For my comfort, I would like to be less in debt because my husband and I are both working now. And of course, I am a realist and I know that anything can happen, you know, and it can, and it has in the past. But I think that we're on track. So I'm going to go with that, and I'm going to, you know, just remain confident and hopeful in our plans and what we're doing right now. So as long as, you know, things stay the way they are, I think that things can only improve. Now, as of June of this year, my husband's going to get his partial retirement, and that's his private pension. And of course, he won't be able to collect Social Security until he's in his 60s. And that will, you know, be further down the road. But in the meantime, we are going to start collecting his private pension in June, and that is his 50th birthday. And the reason why is because he was a displaced worker, and where he worked, they had a clause in their contract that if your area where you were located, because the company you worked for has locations all over the country, but if his went under and out of business and closed their doors, and he was a displaced worker, he could apply for the early retirement as long as he turned 50 within the life of the current contract. And that was the case. So those things kind of lined up, and we were very lucky. So that's going to change things too in June. So yeah, I am very comfortable using our emergency fund to pay down debt. And part of the emergency fund I already used to pay off one of my student loans. So I have the remainder, and I'm going to do a separate video on my payment and my progress for that, because I know some of you this student loan situation also affects. So I think it's of interest to at least some of you who are viewing and maybe going through the same thing, or maybe you already went through this, but I did a whole video on why I still have student loan debt, and a lot of you are very astute and you know how that works. And I did want to mention that when I talked about paying 40% or 60% interest in the past year on my student loans, it is like a mortgage company, as one viewer said, Rhonda, they do require, I think, the majority of the interest up front, just like a mortgage. So that is why I'm paying such heavy interest right now. But it's been a long time, and they're still collecting interest up front. So, oh my goodness. But you know what? Interest is, I believe, still tax deductible. It always has been in the past for me. So I'll be able to include that as an itemization in our taxes. So anyway, but this is our budget plan for the next week, if not 2 weeks, because I have the extra variables, the important variables in here built in. So I'm really excited that we're completely covered, and I feel good about this, and I feel good about the way we're moving going forward. So I just wanted to thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your input and all your great advice and your supportive comments. It just means a lot to me, because putting all my finances and our debt situation out there, it is a very vulnerable thing to do. So I can't thank you more for being so supportive and understanding of that, and also for sharing some of your experiences with me. So if you haven't already subscribed, I would love if you stuck around and did so. And of course, I hope to see you guys in my next video. Take care.